Hey everybody, it's Maya Zahira here with Psychic Protection Sanctuary, and it never fails. Every time I get ready for a video, my cat wants to jump all over me. So, as some of you know, I am utilizing the live feature on YouTube a whole lot more, and so this is just an impromptu live stream. The last couple of hours, as I was going through my day, I was thinking about mentors and about how sometimes we tend to put them on a pedestal. And I was thinking about certain issues that can arise from doing that, and then also some things that can be a little bit dangerous with doing that. So I'm just going to jump right in. But before I do, we have to meet the infamous cat. Come here, little kitty. Hi, sweetie. All right, we're just going to go this way. She does not want to be picked up. She is the shy one. Hello. Hi, kid. I know that's terrible. You can't even see her. Okay. And you did not get on this video to just look at a cat. But this is the cat. This is Vashti. Hey, kid. She is the one who is always jumping all over me whenever I'm talking on a video. So if you see me start to look annoyed and brushing something away, that is what it is. Hello there. So some of you might already know the answer to this, the problems with putting a mentor on a pedestal, because it's kind of a loaded phrasing, right? It's already stating that it's not a good thing. A lot of times people don't realize that they're putting their teachers or their mentors on a pedestal. And also in our culture, or like in the alternative spirituality culture, it's kind of normal to put your teachers on a pedestal. There's like the guru mentality. See, she is all over me. It's like the guru mentality, like, oh, they're like looking to follow the guru. So there's the problem with that is that you're giving your power away and you're not acknowledging that you are the one that has the answers within, and you are deferring your own authority to another person when you should be learning how to tap into your own power. So you're actually giving your power to that person. And I'm not anti-gurus, but I'm just using that term to talk about the kind of teacher that has, quote, followers. And they are the leader, and everyone is looking to that person for answers. And I've got news for you. See, it's all over me, this little kid. Lovey-dovey. She's making a cameo. I've got news for you. That teacher does not know what's best for you. You know what's best for you. And even when I advise some of my students and my clients, I will give my professional opinion. I'll give my intuitive take on the situation, but it is up to the person, to the client or the student, to tune into their own guidance and feel what's right for them. I do not want my students to just say, oh, well, Maya said I should do this, so I should do it. Oh my God, my head will explode. If I think you're doing that, I'll be like, oh my God, no, because she is all over. Tail. Cat. She's helping to make it a, like a very real video and non-polished, right? All over me. Okay, so one of the reasons why it's not really good to get into the guru mentality is that you're giving your power away where you should be the one in authority of your own life. With that said, I think it's a good thing to get guidance from someone who maybe knows a little bit more than you do, or maybe is able to tap into spirit more than you. So it's good to get advice, but then you need to be the one ultimately who makes your own decisions. So don't give your power away. Okay, so that's the problem with really being the follower type. But there's also a problem with, even if you're not totally blindly following, there's still a problem with thinking that your teacher is so, or your mentor is so wonderful. It might seem like a good thing to be like, wow, that person is like a goddess or a queen or a king or the ultimate whatever it is that they do. And you're putting them on this pedestal. It's not a bad thing to acknowledge that they are gifted at what they do and that you think that they're awesome. I think you're awesome. So it's good to think that other people are awesome. But be careful with putting them so high up on that pedestal that you forget that they are a human being. A lot of times, if you're putting someone on a pedestal, there's these unrealistic expectations, especially with spiritual teachers, spiritual healers, and that sort of thing. There's this tendency to think that they don't have the kinds of problems that you have, and that when they show their human side, I've seen this so many times, and this is one of the things I was thinking about this afternoon, is that if the mentor, slips off their pedestal, in other words, shows that they're real, maybe shows a little bit of their shadow side, or some gruffness, or anything that's not so smooth, then the person who had them on the pedestal gets really disappointed and even maybe angry, like really angry with the person, and like they feel like, you're not who I thought you were. I thought you were this, that, and the other. And they're just so disappointed. And oftentimes they will leave that teacher, they'll leave that mentor in a big huff. Or they'll quietly go away because they're like, well, I'm disappointed. I think they should be able to handle blah, blah, blah better than they did, or whatever it is. I get it. I do have certain expectations for my teachers. I can be kind of picky in that my own integrity and my own code is really important to me. So I do want them to be following that code or better. That's just me. But here's the thing. With my mentors, the people that I call my mentors, they all, I will just say this, and I don't mean any disrespect, but they all, okay, Kat, you're going down. Down, I love you. She's driving me insane. It's okay. Okay, so all of my mentors, they've all disappointed me. All of them. But I haven't let them go. Some of them I have, because I realized it was just a real mismatch. And that's okay. But I haven't let them all go just because they disappointed me. Like, I would realize, oh, I expected them to have the same discernment that I do, or the same this, or the same that. And then I find out that they don't. But then I realize, oh, I'm feeling a little bit triggered right now by the fact that I'm noticing that they're not doing it how I want them to be doing it. Whatever it is. But the thing is, no mentor is ever going to meet that for you completely. So notice when you get triggered, and then just go, okay, so they're different from me. So what? Am I learning something from them? Yes. Good. So I am learning some things from them. We might not be in 100% alignment with everything or all of our ideas, but am I willing to be okay with that? Like, is it an okay enough balance that I can still continue with this person? And the answer might be yes, or it might be, yeah, I want to continue with them, but I think I maybe don't want to work with them so deeply because maybe I'm realizing there is maybe a mismatch in values or something like that. Or the way that they do things maybe just doesn't work great for me. So maybe I'll still work with them, but maybe a little bit less. But see how that's fluid? It's not like they've let me down and I'm never speaking to them ever again, And I've seen people do that. I get it. The reason why it's such a harsh reaction is because you were expecting them to be perfect, and you were expecting them to have exactly the same ideas as you and be better than you because they're your mentor. Okay. What else was I going to say? So here's the thing. Your mentors are still human. They are still going to have bad days or weeks or months. They are going to be cranky some days. They're going to handle things beautifully sometimes. Challenges that come up, you're going to be so impressed about how they handle those challenges. And other times, they are going to be so messy in how they handle it, or maybe they're going to be, impatient or get upset. Because guess what? They are human. They're human just like you are. And the only reason why they're your mentor is because they've been studying whatever it is that you're wanting to learn from them a little bit longer than you have been. Okay? And so the fact that they're a mentor does not mean that they're perfect. It means that they're a little bit further along. And so they're reaching their hand back to you to help guide you through what they've gone through. So keep that in mind. Okay. I do see we have a few people live, so at any point, if you want to interject anything, feel free to. Now I want to say something about the dangers of putting a mentor on a pedestal. So we talked about, how we need to remember that your mentors are human, and you need to remember that they're not perfect, and that they're not always going to be totally aligned with everything that you believe in, and that is okay. But keep in mind that there can be some dangers as well. So one of the things that is my specialty, and you probably know this because you're on my YouTube channel, one of my specialties is psychic protection, and by that I mean keeping your energy safe and strong, and not getting involved in energies that are not beneficial, that are going to harm you, or reduce your life force, or in any other way pull you off. Okay, so here's the thing. And this is another thing that I was thinking about an hour ago. I was thinking about how there have been times when I've assumed that my mentors had the same discernment that I did, the same good, healthy discernment. I assumed that they knew how to tell if an endeavor is high integrity or high vibration. I've assumed that they knew how to hold sacred space in a way that was energetically safe for everyone, that didn't allow entities and negative energy into the space. I've made all sorts of assumptions in my past about different mentors, and I'm definitely not referring to just one person or anything like that. But there have been several experiences where, either over a long period of time or briefly, I would have a little brief lapse, and I would assume that they were using really excellent discernment, and then later I'd be like, oops, because I'm really all about discernment, about what energies I will work with, about upholding my own personal code, and so on and so forth. And here's the thing. If you've been watching my videos and you understand that there's a lot more out there than we realize, the thing is that there are, and I don't mean any disrespect by this at all, there are a whole lot of teachers, leaders, healers, facilitators, etc., who just don't yet have the understanding about the diversity of energies and entities that are out there, and how prevalent negative energies and entities are. And wonderful energies are prevalent as well. But I think a lot of people don't. A lot of leaders, teachers, healers, etc. They're really not understanding or acknowledging some of the dangerous energies that are out there, and they've got blinders on. And so, if you go to a spiritual event or if you go to a yoga class with a yoga teacher that you love and that you're studying with, or you go to a weekend retreat. This happened to me. I went to a weekend retreat and I really liked the facilitator when I met her, and I still like her. Every time I talk with her, she just seems like a really cool person. But I went to this weekend retreat only to realize that, at least at that time, and maybe I'm certain that she has grown since then, as we all do. But at that time, um, in my opinion, she did a terrible job of keeping the space energetically safe. It was a horrible space energetically, and it was actually not just a horrible energetic space, but dangerous. There were entities that came in. By the time that everyone left that retreat, everybody had stuff attached to them. But that's not her expertise. She didn't know about that. Her expertise is personal transformation, and I love that expertise. That's one of my things that I specialize in as well. So, but what I'm explaining is that there are a lot of teachers out there that just don't have the awareness yet. They excel at their own area of specialty, but they just don't maybe understand about how to keep the space clear, or how maybe they're not clairvoyant. They can't see entities like I can, or maybe like you can, or sense them. And so, with that being said, if you go to a yoga class with your beloved yoga teacher, your spiritual event with your beloved spiritual teacher, your weekend retreat, whatever it is that you go to, don't assume that they know more than you do in the area of psychic protection. Okay? So, just because maybe they're a mentor, maybe they're a new teacher to you, or maybe you think of them as a mentor or a guru, don't assume, don't let down your discernment and think that they're going to uh, what is it that I'm trying to say? Don't let down your discernment and assume that they're going to do that for you. Don't assume that they're aligned with your level of discernment, with what's best for you. Okay? So just because they're a mentor, and they might offer many good things for you, and that's great, but don't give your power away to them. Don't assume that they know more than you do in all areas. Okay, so that's where it can get dangerous. And I've seen a lot of spiritual events. I've actually seen a variety of different spiritual events where all these different people gathered together, and they had put this, facilitator, teacher, leader up on a pedestal, and then everybody was really put in danger energetically because of the energies that were brought into that space. So keep that in mind. Whatever kind of mentors or teachers that you're working with, remember, don't give your power away. You are the one that you need to stay in your own power, right? You are the one that has the answers. Remember that your mentors are human beings. They are flawed just like you do, just like you are. They have issues just like you do. And they're definitely not perfect. And also remember to use your own discernment. Don't assume that they are going to be as discerning as you are when it comes to psychic protection issues. And, even with me, if you're working with me and I'm an expert in psychic protection, don't assume that if you come to one of my classes that I'm going to know what's best for you. I am an expert in this field, and I do a great job of clearing the space. But here's the thing, if something doesn't feel good to you, I want you to listen to that and honor that. I've had people who've been sitting in class, and I'm focusing on teaching, and after maybe a little while, they just get up and move, not, just kind of like unobtrusively. They get up and move to a different spot in class, and they don't do it in a dramatic sort of way, but they'll get up and move. And then during the break, they'll pull me aside and say, hey, I moved because the energy of the person sitting next to me just didn't feel good to me. And then for me as the teacher, I was, tuning into everybody's energy in the class. And I knew that that person that they were talking about, their energy wasn't bad. They didn't have, evil entities attached to them. But it just was a mismatch for that person who decided to move. So the reason why I bring that up is that, even if you think the person, like me, is an expert in psychic protection, it's still up to you to listen. And if something doesn't feel good to you, then make an adjustment accordingly. Okay? So that's my 2 cents about mentors and putting them up on a pedestal and giving your power away. So keep those things in mind. Is there anybody in your world? Is there a mentor or a teacher that you have tended to think that they were just absolutely perfect, or that you abdicate your power to them? Like if they say to go ahead and do something, you go ahead, even if it doesn't feel aligned for you, or maybe you didn't even ask yourself if it feels aligned. You just do it because they say. So now's the time to change that. I would really love to see you make some changes with that if you are, giving your power away at all. Okay, everybody. I think that is it. I just wanted to ramble a little bit about that topic. So if you have any comments that you'd like to make, go ahead and comment below, or any questions, let me know. I love YouTube, and I would love to answer your questions. And also, just a little tidbit here at the end, I do, at this point, we are planning on having an official live stream every first and third Monday at 6 p.m. Central Time. So if you're not in Central Time, you want to adjust for your time zone. And those will be official classes where I will have announced it, and in various places. And so we'll have other people joining and asking questions, and I'll have a topic that I will teach. So be sure to join us then, first and third Monday evenings, for our live stream all about psychic protection, empathic sensitivities, and so on. And lastly, I invite you to visit my website, www.psychicprotectionsanctuary.com. And I have free gifts that I am giving away there. There's actually, and here's the cat again, giving her closing cameo. I actually have free gifts that I give away on my website if you fill in your email address. And I also have a lot of free resources on there as well. So until next time, everybody have a great day. Use your discernment always, and follow what feels right for you. See you later. Bye.